Law, this outpost really took a hit. Be a miracle if we find survivors.
We're into fight! Secure position!
Armed and ready.
Hold your fire! They aren't from the Order. Anyone who shoots pays for their own ammunition. I'm the one firing the launcher. Best job ever once you get accustomed to the sound. Basically
Careful.
free hazard pay,
Past this
too.
point is just mantisaurs infected with zeranium gas. The gas makes them tougher than a crabble's backside and completely uncontrollable. Did you just come through an active war zone? Your puzzler screwed on crooked?
That's a lot of casualties. Our medics ain't equipped for this. Not even close.
What in the scrupulous name of profitable deductibles do you think you're doing? Just who are you, and why are you walking through my triage? Some kind of rocket attack, or maybe an orbital strike. Can't rightly say for sure, but it came from above and hit us hard. Don't suppose you're looking for a way to help. I'm absolutely desperate, and I'm sure I could rustle up some suitable reward if you helped. We need compression coils. The attack left more wounded than I have supplies for, plus a hefty amount of zeranium poisoning. And the coils on our auto docks have worn out. Without them, they can't convert raw materials into the medicaments needed to help the soldiers heal. As many as you can. There's so much more work than I can handle. It's only by getting these 3 defunct auto docks back online that I can hope to save most of these folk. Auntie dropped extra compression coils in pods from orbit to help our advance, but they landed everywhere. Though I heard some are in the no man's land between the battle lines. Many thanks, but please hurry. These folk ain't got much time.
Sounds like these coils will keep this triage from becoming a morgue. Let's get to scavenging. go.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Let me handle this. Graph's back in business. Liquidate 'em!
Free hole in the head! You lot could hit the broadside of a player!
Audio log of Chief Exploitation Behavioralist DeWitt. This is entry number 8 of my scrapper preventative fieldwork. Unfortunately, it seems my heavy metal detritus drops mixed into the adrenotime cancels the intoxicating effects. Seized, turning steely gray, and then succumb to some sort of severe blood poisoning. Though I'm confident it's completely unrelated to my heavy metal detritus drops. Now the rest are in a frenzy hunting for... Why, hello. I didn't reckon you'd find me way up... Oh, no. I had nothing to do with... I said, no, please. Please. Ah!
You need a house call. Let me end this fight on my feet. Trouble.
had my back.
Ain't recharged!
Back in business. Let's get you healed. Out of sight and on the way. Happy to help. Discreetly.
Guns locked and loaded. Just give the signal. The one you need to worry about. Combat! Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Did that blast give me a dunder? Or is some damn stranger walking into my area of operation right after we've been attacked?
You all right, officer? We saw the impact and got over here fast as we could. If there's anything we can...
We can do to part you from your bits while you're desperate? Yeah, I know your type. You go private, but then lurk in the shadows like manta wasps looking to prey on easy marks. You got any reason I oughtn't have you shot? Yeah? Well, what exactly makes you so sure of that? Huh. Interesting. Did he say who he thinks did hit us? Not that it matters, I suppose. Not like we can muster a counterattack or anything. But even if I did believe you, so what? Seriously? You expecting me to ring up Auntie and tell her, hello, Maven of all marketing? Just letting you know that this scrutinization officer says everything's hunky-dory. You've clearly been out in the Dorado sun for too long. Ah, an offer for transaction. Now you're talking my language. Didn't reckon you was someone sympathetic to our ways. It just so happens we might be able to trade services. Normally, I wouldn't admit this kind of weakness. It's bad practice. But I'm really in the squeeze, and you might be useful. Lately, my luck's been right miserable. I got enemy sneak attacks. I got grunts murdering each other. I got unsanctioned power struggles. And it all risks reflecting badly on me. You cut down the number of issues that are vexing me, and I'll send you a word of peace and harmony up the chain. What's good for me is good for you, see? Quid pro quo. Or, if all that sounds like too much work for you, there are other ways to curry my favor. Make me believe your good intentions. Encourage me to take your side. Absolutely. Bits are a bond that buys a broad bevy of believability. Auntie says so herself. They show sincerity, trustworthiness, and a goodly dose of class. Wonderful. And with your sincerity assured by the bits in my pocket, I feel absolutely confident in your professed innocence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a whole mess of hassle I've got to dig myself out from under.
You're back. Please tell me you've had some luck in finding us compression coils. Lovely. Every coil gets us that much closer to saving these lives. It's a start. Thank you. Please, come back when you found more.
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere, or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. I prefer doing my shooting after asking all the pertinent questions, Commander. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Thank you, Commander. We should move on, unless you got something for me?
Got a bad feel about this line, hon. Don't like being
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to heaven? Ruth Bassar is the first among equals. By calculating the position of every atom in the universe, we can predict the...
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
Monitor their surroundings at all times whilst peregrinating outside inhabited areas. Those choosing to eat forewarnings are ordered to carry 14 chance of survival.
I'll take care of him, Commander. You want to hit the broadside of a flare. Hey, got a distraction for you.
My apologies. My work requires a rather high amount of focus, and as such, I'm unable to engage in idle chatter.
Architect. I hope this does not turn back into an active war. This is the Order's anti-air control center. If you don't have specific business here, kindly keep moving.
Perhaps it would be advantageous to... Do you have a specific matter requiring discussion with me that cannot be postponed? I'm rather preoccupied at the moment. That's not... Yes, your assessment is absolutely accurate. Making a final decision over what to prioritize in the construction of this trench, given my current resources, has been a substantially more difficult task than I first estimated. Correct. In this case, standardized algorithms, which includes a Poisson distribution method, using the data we accrued from years of tracking the frequency of different attacks. Unfortunately, I find myself in the extremely unlikely and distressing position of having these algorithms inform me that every type of attack is exactly equally probable, and thus my dilemma. Many, unfortunately. Antis, human soldiery, raptidons, mantisaurs, scrappers, and even wild arachnids. In summary, many and varied. Alas, I lack the resources and time. I appreciate your input, though. Anti's forces have pushed us from our initial trench line into our fallback trench, thus making it the new primary trench. Despite the fact that we are currently holding back Anti's forces at the new, more narrow front, this leaves us in the unenviable position of requiring a new fallback trench. That being said, we shouldn't need another trench line. Our analysis shows us that Antes simply lacks the resources to push through the current front line. However, there is a vanishingly slim chance that Antes has more resources in transit outside of the Arcadian system that we simply haven't accounted for yet. Correct. And thus, perhaps it would be advantageous to... No, that won't function
You're now entering an active combat zone. Take all necessary precautions.
Move on, freelancer. I've been tasked with only treating enlisted personnel.
I do not believe I've observed you in these trenches before. You are aware this is a war zone, correct?
Make sure and get plenty of exercise. An active heart is an active bowel. Now, what can the pipe doctor do for you? I'm just a plumber. What do I know about human anatomy? People aren't toilets. You really think so? Very well. Sometimes it takes a plumber to do a doctor's job. If Matriarch's Mercy cries out in need, then the pipe doctor will answer. See you there, friend.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is more safe in the trenches.
A visitor.
Look on the bright side.
Without notice.
I predict that the worst is behind us.
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done, had told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.2.
We're not going anywhere!
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. Oh, so that's how it is. You're the mediator that was foretold. Am I right? The Order wants us to believe that a catastrophe is coming to the exclusion zone at any second. Why? Because math told them so. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Am I supposed to fall on my knees and thank the Order because something bad may or may not happen? Sorry. Not convinced. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. What does the Administrant want? To shut me up? To discredit me? Oh, I knew it. We'll just have to build a watertight case against her then. Best thing you can do is introduce yourself around camp. See why we need the exclusion zones open. All right. You keep at it. When the time comes, I'll be ready to pit my reason against the Order's.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument, but frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah, this guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilists, and a cicanid to feed.
You got business? No? Move on. Reckon you at least know how to oil the gears of ingress. Likely you ain't some protectorate or order stoolie. But I'm still gonna be watching. Go ahead.
Salutations, friend. Not many find their way into my presence, but those that do possess only the finest of tastes. I do hope you'll pardon the rigmarole it took to meet me. The Order has such an antiquated philosophy on the smuggling of contraband. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub Rosa delivers. and only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Agreed. You'd do well in Sub Rosa with that philosophy. Supposing you didn't get killed anyhow. Feast thine eyes on the merchandise!
Don't do anything foolish.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in. Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Talk about close quarters.
Al. And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. Then back to it I shall get.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders, the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the camp.
Oyster is looking pretty good right about now.
Wasteland devoid of life.
How do you feel, darling?
I still don't get it, Pyotr.
How do you feel, darling?
Like a Gorvid's got its hands around my lungs and keeps squeezing.
We're going to get your medicine. Don't worry.
Not
My
sure
soup
how
is
you can always
nutritionally
be so
calculated to
optimistic.
sustain all bodily functions. But it
What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding Bishop Bassar. So he saw that.
Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery, the Oracle?
The one Wally designed, right? Uses a tracking algorithm, never misses. Sounds ambitious, even for him. I'd give my 10.
How about that? Me, a real doctor and everything.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Not on the dark side. I predict that the worst.
Whichever void brain know nothing decided mantisaurs are more. Whichever void brain know nothing decided mantisaurs are more cost-effective than troopers.
Frats contain so much nutritional value and basically everything a growing mantisaur needs. Oh, but they're so
choppy,
cute.
pinchy. Hey, kindly take a couple steps back, friend. This time with my precious mantisaurs is sacred.
Val says you turned her down for a massage.
Turns out Val's massage protocol doesn't have a setting between a light touch and a 50-kilometer-per-hour punch. Not exactly therapeutic. Felt a little bad telling that to her face, though.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of one of those massages, too. Honestly, you made the right choice. Fort Endurance sure has fared better than opportunity. Ironic, in its way.
That better not be what I think it is.
Honestly, Bradford, I've no notion of how to cool your conniption. Corporate says I'm in charge. Yes, I hope you're not here to apply for employment. I'm already overwhelmed by the sheer volume of peons I'm forced to oversee. And if you're here as a spy, know that the temporary ceasefire is on tenuous footing. So if you stay, it's likely just a matter of time before I'll be stringing you up. Spectacular! We haven't had a chance to do business with outsiders in an age. Welcome to Fort Endurance, Auntie's southernmost base of operations and a hub of comfort and commerce. Or at least we will be in a year or two. Oh yes, Auntie's choice may not be your first choice, but thanks to our aggressive expansionism and occupation policies, we're soon to be your only choice. This is where we train Auntie's first division of post-negotiation Mantisaur aggressors, under Strategic Ingestment Executive Wojciech, senior-most commander at Fort Endurance. Executive Wojciech says he is pleased to welcome a future customer into our base. Now you're starting to sound like some of the wagabouts I've got under my command. Why would I be anything but serious? Executive Wojciech has been part of this unit since he was just a pupa. As he grew, he's shown exceptional bravery, stoic stalwartness, and strong leadership. It's earned him promotion after promotion, until our last battle against the Order deprived us of our former chief executive and left him as the senior-most trooper. The executive welcomes you, but would like to know what your business is in our base. My experimental Mantisaur graft lets me speak with him as easily as I do with you. He emits pheromones that my antenna can detect. He wouldn't be much of a commander if he couldn't communicate with the troops.
Hey, Commander, it's my professional opinion that we should back away slowly. This guy's craft is either messing with his gray matter, or he's messing with us.
That is exactly what he's doing.
Designer Bradford, you've been warned about disrespecting the chain of command.
And you've been reminded, repeatedly, that I'm not under your chain of command. I'm technically under the Mantisaur, but that's got nothing to do with you. I just wanted to make it clear to our newcomer that you are full of shit. You've always been full of shit, and you will always be full of shit. So you're best ignored entirely.
That is quite enough, Designer. Yes, well, Please excuse our curmudgeonly biologist. She's been a pill ever since the promotion that made Wojciech outrank her. Still, that ugly moment behind us, it's a comfort to my mind that you're here. Executive Wojciech has an assignment we're desperate to have done, but it can only go to someone outside our chain of command.
Ugh, not this crabble scat again. There is zero chance you're right. Zero. And this brilliant assignment of yours didn't go so well for the last group.
Wojciech can sense that there are some kind of mutated mantisaurs over yonder, and he wants us to secure one of their pupas to raise as his own.
Oh, stop it. The creature doesn't want a pupa. He doesn't want to breed a superior race of mantisaurs. He wants to eat meat, excrete the excess, and be left alone. That's it. Even if he could ask for a pupa from a rival nest, he'd probably just eat the law-be-damned thing to cut down on competition. He's a bug, nothing more.
That is enough. One more word in question of our executive officer, and I'll have you pitched over the edge with the rest of the enemies we've conquered here.
Yes, sir.
We need you to infiltrate the mutated mantisaur nest, secure a mutated pupa, and bring it to me here. Do that, and I, and Executive Wojciech, shall make sure you are well rewarded for your efforts. Look in the nest to the east. That'll have your best odds. It's where Wojciech feels the pull from the strongest.
Feels a pull, Wentworth? Seriously? What am I saying? That makes the exact amount of scientific sense I'd expect from you. Excuse me? May we speak a second? Apologies for my outburst, but I had need to warn you that an earful from Wentworth is akin to sucking on an inhaler full of ammonia.
Hey, what are you two talking about?
Nothing of your concern, Wentworth! Just ignore him. He was clever enough to pretend that graft lets him talk with the beast. So overnight, he upstarted from simple trooper to de facto commander of this installation.
You know it's impolite to whisper, right?
But I've studied him extensively, and it is most assuredly nothing but a play for power. I'm not surprised. You seem sharp. So, if you know he's lying, then you understand that catering to his will isn't gonna do anyone any good. Conversely, the scientific value of studying the mutated pupa he wants is exponentially greater than any possible use he could have for it. Bring it to me, and not only will I match any reward he offers, but you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that it will serve a much greater purpose. I'll have to... Oh, fine. Fine. If scientific discovery and the betterment of future products isn't enough for you, I'll pad your coffers a little something extra. Just, please, bring me the mutated pupa.
Personally, I'd much prefer leaving the pupa where it is and not giving into delusion. But on we press anyhow.
Hey, stranger! You're one of those... I can't remember what, but I need help, and here you folks will do good deeds for free. Hey, stranger. Please, you gotta help me. They're gonna railroad me into a guilty verdict. Then I'll be declogging sewer sediment tanks until I'm dead enough to mulch. They're saying I murdered an officer, but they don't care what I've got to say about it. They just want me locked in here until they pen me in the sewers. Hell no, I didn't do it. I actually like Chief Cuddy. He was pretty alright for a guy who's angling for executive. He'd get you extra shifts if you asked, and only ding your pay if you really screwed up. And sometimes, if you really had to go, he'd even cover your bog breaks, pro bono. I'd never have hurt the chief, even if you offered to pay me to do it. I don't think nobody killed Cuddy. I was there. That's why they think I did it, and he was fine. Well, he was fine up until he wasn't, and then he just swole up and died. But the way he swole up, it's something Cuddy always said might happen. Only it don't make no sense that it happened now. I know, everyone keeps saying so, but I don't know what else to do. I've got no motive, I ain't gaining nothing, and I've answered all their questions. We were eating chow at our post. Cuddy asked me to try his because it tasted funny, but I tried it and it was fine, just like mine. Then he just swole up, turned blue, and died. I made a ruckus, which called everyone in, and all they saw was him dead and me fine. So Security Officer Abner charged me with murder and threw me in here. It was exactly what Cuddy said would happen if he ate Crabble. He was deathly allergic to Crabble. But we ate Sisty stew, fresh from the can. And ain't no Crabble in Sisty stew. Yup. Cuddy had told everybody about his allergy, repeatedly, over and over, constantly. Nobody would have served him Crabble knowing that. But that's still gotta be how he died. So, I need you to talk to Security Officer Abner, remind him of the allergy, and let him toss all my gear. He won't find Crabble anywhere. No, that was days ago, and they tossed out the rest of the stew. So I don't even know if the docs will still be able to tell it was allergies that did in Cuddy. He will. He has to. It's the truth. I didn't murder nobody. Please, make him understand.
Overheard what you said earlier, that nobody wants Auntie's choice here. Maybe not right now, but that tune will change once these folks see just what we're offering them. Freedom.
Freedom at the point of a gun don't strike you as a mite forceful?
So liberation is only acceptable on your terms. Is that it?
It's acceptable when we do it because the people ask for our intervention. That's kind of the whole point of the Earth Directorate.
You say that, but we both know that ain't why you or the commander came to Arcadia in the first place. What was the plan? Take what you came for and leave these folk to their fate? No. I think it ain't so much that the Earth Directorate only goes where they've been asked. It's more about what serves their interests. So, who's really the moral party here?
I ain't gonna be lectured by a corporatist. Find someone else to bluster at.
You lost, stranger? I don't see a lot of new faces in these parts. What are you? Order? Protectorate? Anti? Well, don't that beat all? An unaffiliated freelancer. You and I are a dying breed. Me? I'm a sprat trapper. Cute little things, but their tallow and hides fetch a high price. Used to be Protectorate, then worked for the Order, then Anti. Whoever's calling the shots on a given day. Now, I'm just waiting for the dust to settle so I can find out who I work for tomorrow. Sprat leather has military applications, as all things do. I also hear tell that higher-ups like to put them around their boots. You know, sprat spats. Gregory? Well, I'm glad to hear he's still kicking. Loyal customer. Very particular about his sprats. These being hard times, I've had to raise my prices. Gal's gotta eat, and I don't care for sprat meat. Trust me, Gregory is an artiste when it comes to biology, and every artist needs the right canvas. Pleasure doing business.
Well, what have we here? You couldn't look less Anti's choice if you tried. So what are you doing in our fort? You happened to speak with my prisoner? Without my permission? Why by law would you do that? And why shouldn't I lock you up for it? And pray tell, what did our Trooper Bardot have to say for herself? What? How could that be? I made the stew myself and every one of us ate it. What? That's ridiculous. It was nothing but canned sisty stew. Stew that I have... Oh. Oh no. Oh law. Did you say Crabble? Well, he told everyone that. But that ain't exactly the same as it actually being true. See, Cuddy was what you'd call a complainer. He complained about the food. He complained about the weather. He complained about his bunk. He complained about everything. He's also somebody's nephew. Some junior executive. And if you gave him reason enough to complain about you, he'd take it up with his uncle, and it'd come back down in your head. Half his gripes were really nothing but reasons to grouse. But if you push back too hard, he'd run to his uncle. So most of us just ignored him, assuming he was constantly full of it, and didn't think twice about doing things like stretching the stew with canned crabble stock. What? No, it was an accident. Nobody would have, at least nobody'd mean to. Law, his uncle is gonna see me transferred to mid-operation engine cleaning on the claim. Unless... Hey, how'd you like to make some bits? Some real bits? And keep a tragic accident that'll lead to the end of a promising career. Total secret. Well, no. Not yet you haven't. See, I can't just let Bardot go. There'd be questions, accusations, and assumptions as to who was responsible, and that's no kind of solution. And even worse, since there's apparently nobody coming to do an autopsy, I might have to just send Bardot to the claim to start her sentence on all available evidence. Absolutely. That's only fair. I'll both free Bardot and compensate you for your effort. So we got this thing. An acidic dematerializer that we use to melt mantisaur dung, so it don't call in the local wildlife. But it'll actually work on anything. That means if someone used it to melt Cuddy, there would be no body, which would mean no autopsy, which would mean no evidence, which would end the investigation. I'd do it myself, but my boss said she's on her way for a surprise inspection, so I can't leave. But if you go find one and melt the body, I'll make it worth your while. Yes, that's exactly it. Now just head over to Cuddy's corpse and make it disappear. Well, really, make it turn into a small puddle. But that's neither here nor there. Thank law. You'll find Cuddy inside the tower, but you'll have to sneak your way past the guards. It simply wouldn't do for me to announce your intentions to the base. Then come back and tell me when I've got no more evidence to hold Bardot and can draw this whole thing to a close.
You, the getting go-getter. I'm offering deals so good, they're worth crawling under the bullets and over the barbed wire it took to get here.
You're back. Tell me that means you've got something helpful for me. Next, you go ensure there is no evidence that can allow the investigation to move forward that gets me and Bardot off the hook. You'll find Cuddy's body inside the tower. But you'll have to sneak your way past the guards. It simply wouldn't do. I've been told Chief Cuddy's corpse has gone missing. Which is a surprise to both of us, I'm sure. Thank you for your help. You've saved 2 careers today and allowed us to put this whole miserable affair behind us. Of course. Debts left unpaid decays our character and all of anti-society. And this torrid affair has come close enough to doing both already. Regardless, it's nothing but ink in the ledger now. And speaking of ledgers, Bardot is free. And here's the balance for yours. Which means we're done.
You did it! You actually did it! I can't believe you could get it done. Thank you, thank you, thank you! I'm so glad to be out of that damn cage. Someone else's crime. So you know what happened? That good-for-nothing rung leech! That dunderhead! I can't believe he'd... Oh, he's about to learn that poor Chief Cuddy's not the only one with executive contacts in the family. My cousin's a VP in R&D who used to head testing on Numa. Abner's going to spend the rest of his downright miserable life wishing he just confessed and took what's coming. That makes me extra thankful for what you did. If it'd been left in Abner's hands, he'd have made sure they'd thrown me in a hole so deep, even the Sprats wouldn't come visit.
Hey, damage-prone daredevil. Welcome to Bonnie's Barely Above Board Battlefield Bazaar, brought to you by Auntie's Choice. We know consumers are highly discerning in how they spend their bits in an active war zone, and I really appreciate you dodging literal bullets to bring me your business. And to show my gratitude, I'm offering you and only you a one-of-a-kind, once-in-a-lifetime, exclusively discounted rate of 4/5 of Auntie's standard profiteering rate. Only so long as you tell nobody of this amazing offer. If everybody got that deep a discount, I'd go out of business for sure. So, what will you be buying today?
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Any luck with the Sprat hunt? Decent quality, all things considered. Frankie's work is second to none. You can tell the good doctor I'll be around shortly, armed with needle and thread, calipers, and my finest jar of glass eyes. Not to worry, they're perfectly lifelike. Be seeing ya, Agent.
The meaning of life is numeric, and we are the keepers of the creation.
When I asked the seer for medical specialists, a plumber was not what I had in mind. Trust in the Order to think outside of the box. Take this. On behalf of the Order and the displaced, I thank you. Now, will there be anything else? From a medical standpoint, the taxidermist doctor was an unconventional choice. But I can't deny the results. A little token of my appreciation for a job well done. Now, will there be anything else? How can I be of service? As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp?
Oh. Administrator Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
The seer predicted imminent danger to the exclusion zone. In the interest of safety, the displaced must leave.
Well, the displaced are the ones taking that risk, on the grounds the predictions can be false.
The displaced are under the Order's care, and the Order should decide what is best for them. Hence why we need the help of an outsider. Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire Sub Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd, and I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help. The fault here is my own. I see now that the displaced require guidance steeped in logic and reason. I understand you were crucial in securing additional medical personnel for Matriarch's Mercy. Thank you.
Yeah, much appreciated. Way to go above and beyond. Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis? At Auntie's Choice, we'd view this from a lens of how sickness undercuts productivity.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone may outweigh these concerns. Collapsed, but we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure, more of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty. People are struggling to make do with what they have. If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures weren't built following established Order construction guidelines. Speak on then.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
A bit rude, don't you think? But since this mediation was foretold, I will not dispute your findings.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
If the Provisioner's booked up, I say redeploy another egghead at the matter.
It's less of an issue of personnel as it is of safety. Contrary to your assumptions, we do care about your collective and individual well-being.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
But our predictions are given to inform and protect, not to frighten. Forgive me. I do not mean to disrupt. By my calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. I suspect that your sympathies lie with the displaced. Unfortunate if true, but I leave the decision in your capable hands. Well, if this is the fate that was augured, then I will not complain, though it goes against my very nature. Please, be safe. That's all I ask.
Not to worry, Administrant. The exclusion zone is our problem now. Here. You stay out of trouble. We'll try and do the same.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the
What
trenches.
caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar.
I communicated your prediction to Administrator Agarwal. I'm not sure why she's budged on letting the refugees move into the exclusion zone, but I agree. Very worrying indeed. Anything I can do to assist you? Yes, what have you discovered? Oh, you've lessened the load on my mind considerably. And you have the Order's gratitude. Any other updates?
The paradigm is a self-centered derivative take on the grand plan. That's how
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Order defecting?
Tired of vacuously untrue statements with their unsatisfying antecedents? At the order of the Ascendant, our predictions are both sufficient
We did good by all the folk in Golden Ridge. If we hadn't eased the pressure between the Order and the troops at Outpost Opportunity, the kettle would have blown its top eventually. Instead, the ceasefire can remain in place, and folk can sleep soundly. Thank you.
Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander? Oh yeah? What's needling you? Hope you're settling into the cognito all right. You got everything you need?
Almost. Ever thought about bringing an Auntie's Choice vending machine on board? I ain't all that agreeable if I'm without my snacks.
I've got to introduce you to this novel appliance, name of a refrigerator. You can store and draw from it without ever paying a bit.
Everyone knows a morsel tastes that much sweeter if you gotta pay a premium for it.
miscellaneous unspeakable dangers.
Please call again at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zerania Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the Abbot? Well, we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir.
This is Factor Métadier. Am I to understand you have orders from the Abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see the sorting. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. You're not getting down below until you talk to me. So, the Abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
All within the Order are equal parts of the equation. It is functionally useless to imply greater influence. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the Abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. Yes, the source of the explosion was unmistakably Zeranium. It is exceedingly volatile unless handled correctly. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's choice. One of our transport pods filled with Zeranium was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. Both of them? Well, one can hardly argue against thoroughness. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zeranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and fingers.
Wait, so has it been classified as an accident?
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. What's her name took over.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. But I'm now realizing how little we actually know about her. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alpha seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
Described of arachnids calicity as slavering when it attacked. How much viscous fluid would you estimate was involved?
I don't know anything about the fluid's volume. Thing attacked.
Of course she's hiding something. You think those 2 exemplars just fell wrong? They're hardly prone to involuntary self-injury.
Investigator? May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Hello, a visitor. Who? And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Ah, an Auntie's choice grafted soldier. You poor dear. And someone else. Another Earth Directorate agent, I see. Seems sad.
Is she talking about me?
All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. I expect few in the Order know of you, but, well, I've kept to a role here that is purposely not very taxing. Others prefer calculations in their spare time. I have my stories. Between launches, I enjoyed serials, 2-bit dreadfuls, periodicals. I adore Zane and Buddy, even if they are considered contraband. And you decidedly share their upright bearing. For the longest time, I didn't realize your organization actually existed. But here you are, well-timed and, no doubt, eager to help. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though technically speaking, they did kill each other. It was a scuffle. Their weapons fired. It was a most unfortunate thing. I've refused a few promotions over the years. Undemanding work provides me ample personal time for my stories. I enjoy speculative fiction. Does that make me suspicious?
Yes. If you ain't climbing the ladder, you're on a downward trajectory. Nobody in their right mind would be content.
Dear me, I wish I knew. But, actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that reassuring enough? Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Always account for standard deviation. Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too disappointed.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Well, hello. Have an update to share with Initiate Alva?
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. I appreciate even your hesitant support. Now, I believe you had an update for Initiate Alva.
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I suppose the data wipe was meant to cover their trail. The physical records would have been altered, dear, presumably by some difficult-to-discern chemical means. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A uranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think? Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
I expect the uranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. Part of me would like to tease you right now and say, you're not very good at cards, are you, dear? But if you're still on the fence about me, I shouldn't want to tip you over. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
Alva's been here for how many years? I never noticed her.
Circumstances
Just
proceed toward
blended in
intended
with the scenery
results.
somehow.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
May all your theories prove true.
The Proctor's a low fun.
Okay, Massey. Find the mine. What in the void was that? Goodbye. Massey the 18th. Closing in.
Oh, a freelancer. I didn't know we hired any, but I'm glad to have you. Especially after that.
We go! Attack! Now!
Spy, move!
Ready if you need a house call. Look alive, Commander.
Where are they? There you are.
These things take time, Commander. Your insides are leaking outside, Commander. Give the order, and I'll take care of it, Commander. Let it flash before my eyes, Commander. Revive me.
Just give me the time!
Marginal, Commander.
Knew you had my back. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Think the cult's signaling that we ain't welcome here. But I ain't too keen on reading signs.
There best be a stiff bottle waiting for me if I ever manage to make it out of this barrel.
Sounds like he's fighting for his life in there.
Our only salvation lies in annihilation.
handle this. Unseen. Let's get you healed. Someone call for a medic.
Troublemaker, don't make me bury another agent!
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves. None whatsoever. All I know is that they were planning on killing me by filling my room with uranium gas. I was here to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonder of the rifts. There is one other thing. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. Your violent tendencies could be of great help to me there, as I'm sure mine could be of service to you. If you deign to take me on, of course. I'm not going to wax poetical with you about my life while there's traitors in serious need of killing. All you need know is that I'm good with a knife. What do you say? Nothing that will live to regret. But it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
If you're sure, Commander. But I'd watch myself around this one.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors.
Initiate Carrington, audio log entry, 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally? I'll just peek. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost. Recharged for me! Aggressor ahead.
Damn it all! The door's sealed. We'll need to find another way in. Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
.36 cubed, divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by... is it 30, or... Oh! Hello! Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing. There's a cultist behind you! Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body.
Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's like a wire stretched beyond its breaking point. Never a harsh word to anyone, but being in his presence, well, it's as if his stress is infectious. Best not to push him. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. Oh, there's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We've an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Where are you going? Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.
I appreciate your help.
We can hear those wriggly little group fingers of yours. Bring them closer so we can shoot them off.
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
Fear not, my brethren. The eyes of the unworthy cannot behold our transcendent forms.
There's the N-ray scanning device the scientist was talking about.
My piety.
Armed and ready.
Unfriendly company.
Convoluted way to unlock a door, but I'll take it.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Who in the void? You leave at once.
Wrist weapon prime!
Happy to help. Discreetly. Someone call for a medic. I have to. Hearts are prime.
There you are. Pressing the attack. Return.
Time to earn my commission. Happy to help. Yes, please. To the rescue. Right unseen.
For my life or avenge.
Straight at them!
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
You there. You must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander? Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me and all the other nonsense around here. That's a Glorious Dawn communication device. Our cells use them to send and receive encrypted messages.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
You hammer my
Aggressor at hand. I'm known to hold a grudge, you know. On and ready. Rip weapon prime. My aftermarket prime.
I understand true transcendence. I have power unto the architect.
How many numbers?
Look at the sad little sprat in his corrugated metal cage.
Why don't you unlock the door and come out?
Friend of friends are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitors, charlatans.
I can see it would be best for you to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. I shouldn't have a worry. Damn that Victor, damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife that he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. Some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Survived is something of an overstatement. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. I would be more sympathetic to their collective plight, and they not promise to insert every item in this room down my throat in reverse alphabetical order. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
to approach my holdout, I once again ask you to stop. The path ahead is filled with unseen traps. Whether cultist or wayward scientist, you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease.
Call for a medic. Let's get you healed. Out of sight and on the way.
I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Because the order cannot be hindered by war or by compromise. Any obstacles must be removed, as much as I regret the need to do so. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Your verbiage does not conceal the gaps in your knowledge. But the presiding bishop has taught us that ignorance is not a punishable sin. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. If what you say is true, then you have my tentative thanks. However, scientific certainty would absolutely have prevented that from happening. We would have predicted it. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? No, that's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. Augustine couldn't have done such a thing. She was on a secret mission at the time. I don't wish to believe you, but what you're saying has the ring of truth to it. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. What say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife? See what he knows. Your loss. Don't like to boast, but I am quite the artiste with a knife.
I believe that's another thanks I owe you. You certainly keep interesting company. I found a way to, via the use of processed N-rays, send objects out of phase. It was inconsistent, but I was close to isolating the procedure. DeVries needed explosives for her plan. By making them unseen, the explosives could be placed as efficiently as possible. No one would be maimed or injured, just killed. Saying that out loud now, it sounds unreal. But somehow I convinced myself that leaving no survivors was more humane. It's a shame I can't speak to a vicar. Here, it is the key to my quarters. Take whatever you find. That will ensure that I cannot use any of it to further DeVries' aims, even if I wanted to. I appreciate your consideration. Things could have been very different had your cooler head not prevailed. You've certainly convinced me I cannot remain here. May we meet again, when the paths of our lives are at greater apexes.
Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. We should return to the one we saw earlier. It will hopefully yield some worthwhile information. This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much. but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. I'm right behind you, but not in a threatening way.
I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to see the results of your theses.
Commander.
Think they made the statue big enough?
Investigator. May all your endeavors add to the...
Had plenty of managers like Svoboda back on Tau Ceti. Couldn't take responsibility for nothing.
Let me know when you needed a stretch. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a frame. Over here, free hole in the head. Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
Over here. Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open.
I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
Distraction for you.
May all your theories prove true.
Evolution. May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Something about that Albert doesn't square. And she called me sad. I'm not sad. Just for the record.
Yes, suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. What else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results.
You're back. I see my choice in you was well-founded. Zeranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. This is anecdotal feedback at best, but I find sometimes a gift helps. Something that makes one feel deserving. And by assisting me, you have proven this. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations, can't miss it, unless you do. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes, I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other crisis nearby. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's okay. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly, or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. I am greatly grateful you were helpful and effective. Farewell.
always account for standard deviation.
And may the plan guide you.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
Hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it.
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Wait, you can't possibly believe this balderdash. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. What a nice and thoughtful thing to say, dear. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Would have been nice.